name's Steve Brignoli. I was with 10th Special Forces Group, ODA 011021.
Hi, my name is Stephen Collins. I'm the owner of Black Ice Security Services. In 1998, I retired from the SEALs as a SEAL Master Chief.
My name is Christopher Morgan. I'm an amateur competition shooter.
My name is Ryan Ricchetti. I'm the CEO of Ricchetti Tactical Solutions, RTS, and this is the RTS TriggerShield. The RTS TriggerShield is a shield that covers the trigger well of any firearm. Right here it's shown on the AR-15 or M4. The purpose is to block the trigger well from inadvertent contact with the trigger. It's designed specifically to be ergonomically, tactically easy and quick to get up underneath when you want to purposefully access the trigger, but it's designed to keep anything out of the trigger that you don't want, whether it's your finger prematurely, a piece of gear, branch, whatever it may be.
It's not a safety, it is a safety device. So it doesn't replace your safety, but it is going to help protect your trigger well.
There's variables in a combat environment. It's always good to have a secondary safety measure.
This device is designed for the entire spectrum shooter, whether you are first time on the range, figuring out your trigger discipline, your muzzle discipline, etc., all the way up to the highest speed operator.
As a secondary means of protection, everybody has a benefit of protecting themselves against a negligent discharge.
Nobody can prevent your safety selector switch from rubbing against some gear and accidentally disengaging. By definition, accidentally was not on purpose, and your selector switch doesn't care if you meant to turn it off. If it's off and that weapon is hot, anything touches that trigger, it's going to go. There's no intelligence in the trigger itself. That's why you have accidental and negligent discharge.
No matter how badass you are, there's always room for error.
You can be putting your weapon down in a helicopter, you can be climbing onto a truck, you can be jumping down off of a boat. It doesn't matter. There are times when you're going to catch your gear, and if you happen to have it off safe, this is the one thing that's going to save you from an AD. In some places, an AD can end your career.
As I've seen, the RTS TriggerShield does not slow you down when you get on the trigger. It just needs to be trained, and your motor recruitment is just as fast for engaging the target.
It's designed specifically to guide your finger lengthwise smoothly up underneath the shield to access the trigger and smoothly out. This is done on purpose because never are we going to develop a product, push a product, put our name on a product that's going to slow down an operator and put him or her in harm's way.
So I used gloves intentionally for the demonstration to determine if the gloves would affect the trigger. My concern as an operator is that most of the time we're wearing gloves. So I wanted to ensure that it was a valid device for something that was very common. And I found that getting in this trigger well was no different than without gloves. As a matter of fact, the gloves actually allowed me to get into it probably a little easier than without the gloves, so it's effective.
It is completely ambidextrous. There's protection on both sides. As you can see, I shoot left-handed, and I can use it just as easy as a right-hander.
The maintenance and service requirements of the RTS TriggerShield are exactly the same as keeping the outside of your weapon clean. Consider your dust cover spring. A drop of oil, a few brushes with a brush, good to go. This thing will not break, will not fracture, will not fail. The only moving parts are in the hinge assembly, and that's only a spring and a roll pin. There is a 90-degree hard stop on the shield, so it can't be lifted more than 90 degrees. In actual use, max deflection is about 65 to 70 degrees. We put a hard stop at 90 to ensure that these springs, which are referred to as infinite springs, if they don't deflect past 90 degrees, there's no chance that they're going to set or bend or lose their tension.
The RTS TriggerShield attaches to the weapon by replacing the trigger pins. The RTS TriggerShield will come with its own pins, and you simply push them through. It takes 2 to 5 minutes to install. It couldn't be easier.
I'm excited to introduce the RTS TriggerShield because it produces more confidence for the shooter, because if there's no chance that something can accidentally touch that trigger, you know unequivocally without a shadow of a doubt that your weapon is safe. The only time accidents happen is when you didn't mean to do something. If you can't do it, it doesn't happen. This is an inherent safety, meaning when you're not defeating that trigger shield, it's working. You don't have to turn it on, you don't have to turn it off, you don't have to tune it up or maintain it. Unless you are purposefully on that trigger, it's doing its job.
Shoot on purpose.
Shoot on purpose.
Shoot on purpose.
Shoot on purpose.